spotlight, Hollywood frights. Tough guys gonna fight, sometime love can bite. Car chases and sucking faces, starships battles with alien races. Make you laugh out loud, make you feel real proud. Animated delights and heroes in tights. Movies so plenty you can watch all night, and all of them gonna be in the spotlight.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the In the Spotlight web series and the Attack of the Spotlight podcast. We've uploaded as many of the episodes as we could of In the Spotlight to the Attack of the Spotlight podcast, and we ran out of space. So if there's some of those episodes that's from the past that you're wondering why it's not on the podcast, that's why. So you're going to have to keep sticking around to YouTube and Facebook for those. But hopefully, now that some time has passed, every episode from here on out, fingers crossed, will make it to both sides. So we're really excited about that. Today's episode is special in its own way, because we're going to talk about movies that you can see right now. John, tell us what we're doing.
We are doing, who said that there's nothing to watch? We have got
assholes said that.
Sons of bitches. We have got a bunch of movies we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about something we've seen together, not like together, but we've both seen it.
Yeah, we're definitely not together.
Not together.
Would you get a haircut already? I can't see shit.
Well, we're going to talk about several movies here. Some we've both seen, some I've only seen, some Kyle's only seen. We're going to start off with one that we have both viewed. It is brand spanking new. It is Wrecking Crew, and it is on Prime. It stars Jason Momoa. Momoa or Mimosa?
Momoa.
Momoa.
Mimosa's a drink.
Yeah, he is a drink.
He's a tall glass of water.
And Dave Bautista. This movie is about two estranged half-brothers who come together in Hawaii because their dad, their mutual father, has been murdered. And they must figure out who did it and why. This would have been a great movie to fit in with our Buddy Cop episode or our Buddy Buddy episode. But we didn't, so fuck it. We're going to talk about it now. These two
we hadn't seen it then, so
what? Yeah, exactly.
We hadn't seen it. You have to actually see it in order to include it. So,
well,
but is it good enough to include in our next list? That's the question, John.
This is true. Well, we probably won't include it in the next list time. The next time we do Buddy Buddy movies, we probably won't do this because we're doing it right now.
That's true.
Right.
But would we want to? Would we say to ourselves, I would include this if we hadn't already talked about it?
That's a good question. We're going to tell you what we think about it. You know what? For me, I enjoyed this movie. It's pretty cookie cutter. I mean, two guys from opposite ends come together to solve one crime. The crime isn't that spectacular. I mean, someone murdering your father is pretty intense. But it's not anything really like, ooh, hey, that's a really good idea for a crime. I haven't seen that before. And the chemistry between these guys, for me, it was all right. It wasn't any kind of 48 hours or planes, trains, and automobiles chemistry. I enjoyed the movie. Had some great action sequences. Had some great quips to it. Some of the little one-liners that they threw out, I really thought were funny. I chuckled quite a few times during this. So it's worth it. I definitely enjoyed myself. Is it worth a revisit? I don't know how soon I would revisit this. What about you, Kyle? What'd you think?
I thought the chemistry between them was really good, and it would have been better had we just got through their turmoil faster. My wife and I thought the same thing. When they're getting along or they're apart, the movie's hysterical. It's really funny, especially Momoa. I think this is probably my favorite Momoa film so far, because he's just doesn't care about anything. He's making, sexual jokes. All it is very funny,
Sword
but
fight.
kind of, yeah, exactly. Sword fight helicopters, but kind of like 48 hours, and originally in Lethal Weapon, they always have to have this tension, and it goes on too long. And I'm like, just get along. That's why I like Lethal Weapon 2 better than Lethal Weapon 1 because they're just getting along, they're having fun, and that's what I want to see. Yes, they can have an argument, but when you're having an all-out fight where you're throwing each other into cars and smashing windshields and just throwing them down for minutes upon minutes, and the cops or the cars that you're throwing them into are cop cars, and you're right in front of the police station, and no one's doing anything about it, it seems really ridiculous, compounded on the fact that, okay, at this point, we should have this resolved. Now, fortunately, the scene that I'm discussing is where things turn around finally. And I
Yeah.
was literally at that point thinking, okay, this has got to stop. And my wife during the fight was like, shouldn't we be beyond this? Also, like you were saying, it's very formulaic. In fact, I don't think there's a movie where I guessed one of the bad guys
Yeah.
and guessed how a death scene was going to play out so soon after its introduction. You're like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen here, and I know exactly what's going to happen here. And one thing is like they try to drag out a situation. I'm like, I know how this scene ends. It would be really cool if that was going to be a surprise, but the longer you do it, the more I know this is what you're going to do. Oh, there it is. Look at that. You just did it.
Aw.
So that was disappointing because I'm like, okay, this is really formulaic. But the action sequences are very good. I mean, there's an incredible car chase. There's an
Oh,
incredible
I
fight
know.
scene in his house in the beginning.
Mhm.
It there are elements of this film that are very enjoyable, which is why we both stayed through to the very end. Um, I probably would see it again someday, not soon. I was just disappointed by those elements. That's actually what made it feel like we were watching it streaming. Because at the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is the same company that just released a documentary in theaters, and you have a movie featuring Marvel and DC superheroes, someone from Star Wars or somebody from Deadpool. I mean, there's all these elements of people from big franchises, and you release it in a streaming service
Mhm.
and then put your documentary that would normally be on a streaming, and I know why, I'm not getting into all that crap, but it really was aggravating because I'm like, why is that there and this is on my little screen? This should be the other way around. This needs to be on a bigger screen.
Yes.
But other than the fact that, yes, I felt a little let down story wise, but I'm let down by a lot of stories in theaters, so this should have been no different. They're trying to get people back into cinemas. It's been a long, hard go for the last 5, 6 years because of COVID. They're finally getting somewhere, and then they take a movie that would have been a surefire hit, and then they put it on the streaming service.
Yeah.
So, and then you had the same thing with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It's like, okay, again, was that the perfect movie? No. But at some point, we need to put people back in theaters again, and you're missing opportunities to do so. And I think you would have made several $1 million had you done it. So please, to the streamers, yes, you can put it on your streamers. Be the first to have it on you there, within a few weeks. But put it in theaters just long enough for us cinephiles who really want to see it on a big screen.
Most
Please, that's all I ask.
agreed 100%. Interestingly enough, I was researching something from one of our upcoming episodes,
Hmm.
and I had read that a lot of people will not go to the theaters based on a Rotten Tomato review ranking, which I hate Rotten Tomato. I really think it's horrible. But
I
if
don't.
it's got
Yeah.
a certain score, people are like, well, if it's that bad, then not so much if it's that bad, but if it's got that kind of score, it's going to show up on streaming in 17 or 30 days. I can wait.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah. And
that. It's not
no,
cool.
that's the thing. Because I don't know why. Because that's the thing. We review movies, and I review movies more or less not to try to get you to stay away from a movie. If it's a really good one, I'm trying to get you to go to it. If it's something I don't like, I'm not saying don't go ever. I'm just saying from my particular perspective at the time, I didn't enjoy it, but I like it when we actually have the movies we like. And there's too many people out there that keep saying how they're going to hate this movie because of this. They're going to hate this movie because of this. I'm like, don't you want to enjoy it? Don't you want to
Yeah.
go to a theater and say, wow, that was awesome? There's too many times when that's not the case. I don't want to go in, thinking, oh my God, this is going to be bad. And I've had, I've seen titles or trailers and I'm like, oof, that's going to be rough. But I want to be pleasantly surprised. I hope to be pleasantly surprised. And when I see a Rotten Tomatoes score, that means nothing to me. Especially now that people are review bombing films and trying to, before the damn thing's even out, they're trying to,
Yeah.
make films either a huge success or a failure. I never watched Siskel and Ebert to hear if they liked the movie. I watched Siskel and Ebert because I wanted to see the scenes to see if I wanted to go see the movie. I could care
Same
less
here.
what they said. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that looks like a good movie. Uh, you know, so yeah, I agree with you completely, and I think all those review outlets are so skewed now,
Mhm.
and I don't seem to have the same mentality as a lot of people anyway. You and I we couldn't be more different when it comes to a lot of movies. You and I don't. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you and I are now co-backing a film. And I'm not going to give away anything yet because they haven't announced anything about us being in it. So I want to wait for them to do it first,
Exactly.
unless too much time passes. But it's one that normally I wouldn't have seen in a million years. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, no freaking way. And instead now we're paying, money to be part of it because we're like, okay, this could be fun.
Yeah,
This could be goofy. So we'll see what happens. But yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, so
Well, a
all
couple
right.
things I want to mention before we move on with Wrecking Crew. Man, that car chase was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was, and again, people are going to say, "Oh my God, it was, CGI or something." I don't care. They did it so well
Yes.
that there's questions like, okay, was that CGI? Was that like, well, I'm assuming a couple of those things just because it seems awfully reckless of them to have not done it CGI. I don't care if it looks good. Do whatever the hell you want.
Mm.
And yeah, that car chase was awesome. Again, the fight sequence at the beginning, it's just yeah, that's the type of stuff that yeah, I like to see. It's realistic. That's the problem I keep having with the Fast and the Furious movies. I'm
Oh my
looking at
God.
this stuff and I'm like, it never looks realistic to me.
Yeah.
Like the car's jumping, but like it seems to float across the air for a while before it decides it's going to land perfectly in the next building. So yeah. By the
Exactly.
way, Fast Forever has finally been announced. So the
Yeah, I
last
heard that.
installment. Yeah. So this
Well,
is I suppose.
they,
Hmm?
they have to make another Fast movie because Fast and Furious movie because Vin Diesel needs to work too, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the good thing is it's the last one because at one point he kept saying they wanted to make 10 movies. And then they said, well, 10 is actually going to be cut in two. So there's going to be 10 part one and 10 part two. And then they said it's actually going to be three.
Oh my
But then
God.
after they went to space in nine, I think, which is where I stopped.
Did they really go to
Um,
space?
I think they don't they have some jetpack or something. I read somewhere where they went to space and I saw this car with jetpacks or something. And I'm like, okay, that's too far. And I have not seen that one or the one that came after it. But I think the popularity dwindled a little bit So instead of them making 10 as a three-parter, now 10 as a two-parter. And I know people that are huge fans of the franchise that not only were they a bit upset with 9, they really didn't like 10. So so instead so now they're wrapping it up. But if it makes a ton of money, I'm sure 8, 9 years down the road, it'll be time to reboot it. And they'll be back again.
Yeah.
There's no ending in films anymore.
Well, talking about in space, I just seen the other day, and I had to look it up on Google to see if it Google bonjour. I had to look it up to see if it was legit. Yeah, have you ever seen that 9/11 TV show?
No.
They've dealt
No.
with it's like another one of those.
I know it's a cop show as
Cop show.
emergency responders situation.
They're going to space. They've had every other fucking disaster possible. Now they're going to fucking space.
Oh,
Like,
Lord.
what?
Okay.
I mean, it's so ridiculous. I thought it was a meme at first, but I looked it up and apparently, yes, they're going to fucking space.
Jason did it. Hellraiser did it. James Bond did it.
James Bond can do anything.
Well, that's true.
That's what they need to do. They need to cast Chuck Norris as the next James Bond.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck
No.
Norris. He could be the American 007.
No.
He could take on he could jump into space on his own. No, he wouldn't jump into space. He would just push the earth away from him.
Oh,
So,
I got you. Down, Earth, down. All right.
Wrecking
that
Crew.
is the
What a-
Wrecking Crew. What is your next? Or no, I go next, don't I? Yeah,
yes.
I go next. All right, let me get here, make sure I've got the right thing.
Oh shit! If you pull up Anacondas again,
I almost did because the DVD is coming out next month, and I was going to say it's and a countdown to Anaconda coming on DVD. I go to my mailbox. No shirt, no popcorn tub, not a lapel pin, not a brooch, not a action figure. I've got
what if they
no
sent you a real anaconda?
Oh, that's the one thing I don't want. I do not want an anaconda. So anyway, moving on to another movie. Let me set the premise.
Uh-oh.
You've got a nerdy girl. She works in an office. She works her heart out for 7 years. She's really the backbone of the building. Her boss loves her, but her boss is no more, and now the boss's son is taking over the company, an attractive man. They go on a plane trip so that she can do a presentation, but he does nothing but mock her and make fun of her. That plane crashes on a deserted island. Yes, but will true love form? Now, if this were a rom-com, that's probably exactly what would happen. But this is Sam Raimi, and this is Send Help. This is not a romantic comedy. This gets very bloody and very brutal as we go along.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. If you are an Evil Dead fan and you're expecting Evil Dead chaos, you're not actually necessarily going to get it. There is a lot of blood and there is a lot of chaos, but it's not Evil Dead level. Now, if you're a person who's not a Sam Raimi fan and say, you know what, I do not want to see this movie because I'm not a fan of Evil Dead blood and Evil Dead chaos, you'll be happy to know that it isn't that extreme. This is a fantastic middle ground for both fans. If you like it one, it is going to be pulled back a little bit. If you don't like it the other way, it is going to be introduced. But instead, you get an incredibly wild ride as these two battle it out It's a battle of wits. It's a survivor style battle of wits between two people of different social levels coming together to survive on an island. My wife loved this movie. Fantastic. She loved it. I was entertained. I was just actually kind of shocked it wasn't as graphic as what I was expecting. But I was entertained, and this is a good introduction to a Sam Raimi style horror film without going to that extreme. Um, I think a lot of people will enjoy it. It's number one at the box office right now.
Woohoo.
Um, and it's just a completely different take on the stuck on a deserted island premise. So instead of the all lovey-dovey romance, things get dark and they get brutal, and it's one hell of a ride. So
So
if
this is
you're
no Blue Lagoon, is what you're really telling us, right?
this is no Blue Lagoon. This is no 6 days, 7 nights, or whatever that one was with Anne Heche and Harrison Ford. Um, yeah, this is not your typical. And what's really funny is Rachel McAdams was on the Graham Norton show, and she was selling the movie. And first of all, the clip they showed was funny, so that made it look like it's a comedy. Just oh, they're gonna do this, and she's like, well, they get stuck on this island. And Graham's like, and she's, well, I don't know what else you could say. And she says, well, you could probably say the send help part of it. That is the name of the movie. And well, so I love Rachel McAdams. That was probably the worst way to market that movie. I've never seen anybody probably do a worse job. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? This is not what this movie is about at all. So there's going to be a lot of surprised people once a hog tries to attack her. But definitely, I think most people will enjoy this movie, whether they're expecting it to be as crazy as it is or hoping it's going to be crazier than it is. But check out Send Help if you get the chance. I think most of you will enjoy. John?
I will check out Send Help when it's on streaming, maybe sooner. It didn't look very good to me in the trailer. It didn't look very spectacular. I'm a little bit more intrigued. I was a little bit more scared when you started talking about rom-coms. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, if these fuckers fall in love by the end, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, I hope I didn't well, no, because, yeah, I mean, the trailer, there's nothing in the trailer that makes it look romantic of any kind. But when
No.
the movie starts, that might be like, are these two going to fall in love? But, he is such a jerk to her that you're
Yeah.
like, well, I hope she does something to him. And she turns out not to be as geeky as you think she is. so
Oh,
it's so it is funny, but people were one of the ads I saw like Sam Raimi's back to his brutal best or something. I'm like, you're really gonna make it sound like this is an Evil Dead movie, and
yeah.
it isn't. It is not that crazy. It's really about two people who do not get along and start taking advantage of certain situations and what can come out of that. So it is not predictable at all. So that's what I enjoy at this point. Even a movie that I don't like, I like if it's not predictable. Um, but this one I did enjoy, so it's a win-win on both sides.
Awesome. As I said, I will probably check it out. Definitely on streaming. I'll definitely give it a shot there. One that I actually, believe it or not, kids, believe it or not, Kyle, I made it out to the movie theater for a change.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
I'm doing good. I put my pants on that day too,
Wow.
all by myself. I
Very
went and
good.
seen a movie that Kyle will not see. I know. My wife will not see. I don't know if Paula would be seeing it. I probably not, I would assume. But I went and seen Primate.
No.
Correct. Had a little burpee there. Wow. Fucking Primate is a great flick. You ever wanted to have a pet monkey? Not after this fucking movie. Basic premise of Primate, think Cujo as a monkey. That's it. People are at the house. The monkey gets rabies. They gotta somehow survive. But it's a great fucking movie. The reason this family has this monkey is because mom, who has passed away from cancer, was a linguist. And she actually had
A cunning linguist.
yes, she was very cunning. she was working with this chimpanzee on sign language because he was so smart. This monkey was signing up to like 300 words and shit. Very intelligent monkey. Well, mom passes away. They still keep the monkey to
Only
take
up to
care of.
297.
What?
You're only up to 297, so that's pretty good.
Sign language, Kyle. Sign language.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
I'm only
just
up to
regular
about
words.
yeah. I'm only up to about 4 sign language. 1, 2. That's it.
For those of you on the audio version, he put me off and then did something that I'm not going to get into.
Oh, you get into it all right. You'll have to check
I'm sorry I
out the
interrupted.
Facebook version of this episode for further details. Attack of the Spotlighters. But anyway, daughter comes home from college with her friends. They go to the old family house where the chimpanzee is still living with little younger sister and dad, who is deaf and mute, apparently. He's definitely deaf. I don't know if that automatically makes him mute or not, but I assume pretty close because he doesn't talk.
Well, if he doesn't talk at all, then yeah, he's mute.
Yeah. And the monkey just goes ape shit. And I love the movie, to be honest. I trigger warning.
Oh, here we go.
The monkey does get hurt. They do lay hands on the monkey. They fight the monkey. Well, shit. They have battles with the chimpanzee. And it does.
I would imagine if the monkey's going to be the killer, you've got to do something to the monkey.
Yes.
Which is why I'm not
do.
going. Yeah, see, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. And that's why Stacy won't watch it either, because they got to fight the monkey. What I love about this movie, first off, I love animal attack movies. I love Crawl. I love Jaws. I love Deadly Eyes with the rats. I love Food of the Gods. I love animal attack movies, and I'm hoping that this movie gets so much success that they continue to make more of these quality animal attacks movies. Not stuff like Balloon Shark, but more. Got to throw that in there.
Primate 2, Monkey Business. Primate 3, Ape Shit.
But I love these kind of movies. All of it was practical effects. There was the only CG that was used was just to clean up a little scene here or there. And I think on the monkey itself, just to smooth out some of the movements, I think is what I read. But that's not a CGI monkey. That's a guy in a fucking monkey suit, and it looks damn good.
Oh.
The whole scene with the face, the whole scene with the jaw, the whole scene with the shards of glass, all fucking practical effects, and it looks amazing. I would be disheartened if this movie does not at least win or get a nomination for effects just for the monkey himself. It's fucking great. Great soundtrack. I've been listening to the soundtrack on Amazon Music for the past couple days. Shit, man, I even liked all the trailers that they had. So, for me, this was a win-win movie. I really enjoyed it. The only problem that I have, the only thing that really sets it apart from Cujo starts off with rabies, bam, right at the start. You don't even get to know the fucking dog. It's just chasing after a rabbit. sticks its head in the hole, bam, it's got rabies. This
Maybe
one,
that's
you have,
better.
yeah,
So
it's
you don't feel sorry for the dog after what they have to do.
exactly,
In the
exactly.
movie.
This one, you get to know the monkey, you get to go, oh, I want one too.
Oh,
And there's
see,
even,
see, that's
after he's got rabies, there's a scene where you're like, oh my God, that poor fucking monkey. And then he goes, rah! He gets mean again. But
my
that's,
my parents used to own a monkey
did they really? You're lying
before
to me.
me. No, they owned a monkey, and all it would do is it would grab its shit and throw it at them. So we got rid of the monkey.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
My mom will verify this. It's true. You used to be able to own a monkey, like in Friends. They had a monkey in the first few episodes of Friends. They owned a monkey, and I guess it was really mean, and it would just sit there and it would take a dump and it would grab it and throw it at them through the cage, and now you can't have them because they can get really violent. Somebody had a monkey and it ripped their face
Fucking
off,
face
and
off.
yeah, I mean they're dangerous when they get pissed off. They're really sweet, but you do plus they have a bad day. You could accidentally do something to it, and it'll do something accidentally back to you, and you're dead. So, yeah,
So
my
your mom
parents
and
owned a
dad
monkey.
had a monkey and
Had a
got rid
monkey.
of it because it threw shit at them.
Uh-huh.
And then they had you?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. They weren't.
Downgrade.
They weren't supposed to. They couldn't have kids. They were told they could not have kids. And
Really?
then boom, yeah. So and then they tried. They couldn't. And then like 10 years later, out of nowhere, boom, here I am.
Wow.
So sometimes the best things happen when you're not expecting them. Because they could have had a kid that was in detention, a kid that was stoned off his gourd, instead they ended up with the most perfect kid imaginable, and it wasn't supposed to happen. I'm a miracle, is what I am,
Wait, we're
really.
brothers?
Just
I didn't
me,
know that.
just little old me.
Wow.
I'm
This
the
is.
I'm the I'm the chosen one.
I'm gonna.
And now I'm going to go out and kill a whole bunch of children. For those of you who are not familiar with Star Wars, that's what happens in Star Wars. Just in case you're like, what the hell's he talking about?
He wasn't being serious. He was just reenacting a scene from a movie. We do that a lot.
Yeah. I don't like kids, but I'm not going to kill them. So anyway, that's your refresher on Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, no,
And things you
yeah,
didn't
I was supposed to
know
happen, and
about
then boom.
your host, Kyle. Wow.
And I
I've
didn't
known this
even
dude
have
since we
to
were like
eat
16,
hot wings to
17.
find that out. Huh?
I've known you since 16 or
What?
17.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that. I mean, it's not like I'm going to come up, like you're going to go up and say, hey, were you an accident?
Hey,
Were you
yeah.
surprised? Did your
No.
family own a monkey?
No, weird things happen. Some weird thing happened, yeah, 2 days ago. I'm not a ghost guy, right? I'm
Right.
not a ghost guy. I make fun of people who believe in ghosts. I've been in
Yeah.
what supposedly haunted houses, and they're trying to scare me. I'm like, this is everything that they said. I'm like, well, that's because of this, and that's because of this. No, give me this. So I'm at work yesterday or 2 days ago, and we have two halves to the building. One half's the one that I work in. The other half is a business that we own that's been out of business for a year. So no one's ever over there. But every night when I leave, I double check that door just to make sure everything is still fine in there because somebody could break in. So I go through one of the doors, and um, as I'm walking out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody sitting in a chair, and they're actually, as I'm glancing by, they're getting out of the chair, and you can hear the like bang, and they jar the chair a little bit. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm sort of like, oh my God, there's somebody here. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's one of my the fellow employees who maybe slept there and didn't want me to know that they were sleeping there, or somebody broke in. I'm like, oh crap! So I'm kind of like stunned, and I slowly start to look around the corner to see who it is, and there's not a soul in the room. There is nobody there, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So I'm trying to think, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I not only saw somebody, I heard the chair. So it's not like something, because there's a window there. I'm like, okay, well, maybe somebody walked by the window and there was some shadow pattern or something. Right. I heard the chair move. And I'm like, holy crap. So I didn't work there yesterday. So today I was talking to the front desk person. I'm like, is there a security camera where you can actually see into that room? And she said, well, you can see, there's one all the way down the hall, but you can't really see in the room. You can see a little bit. And I said, can you look at that and just see if you can see a shadow or something by the window at all? So we looked to see if we can see anything. She can't find the video. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, well, I've got video in there earlier in the day, and I've got video from the next day. But there's no video of you that night. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Holy shit.
So she ends up, so I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, now this is a little weird. So she reboots her phone, because it's an app. And then it does pop up. And they're like, okay. And what's even stranger at this point now, like, okay, the video's there. See, it's not something weird. It's on a motion. The second the motion stops, the camera shuts off. So unless something's doesn't keep running, it just immediately shuts off. When I leave the room, that camera stayed on for another 30 seconds, and it never does that. So there's
God.
And they showed me. They're like, see, it stops. They go to another video. See, it stops. See, it stops. That video kept going for 30 seconds, even though there was nothing that was moving. And I'm like, oh, okay. So,
wow.
So, I'm not a ghost guy, but this is the closest thing I've ever come to actually possibly experiencing one. And I'm still thinking, okay, maybe somebody was outside the window. They made a noise at the same time. The shadow was in the window. In my mind, I saw the thing on the chair. I heard something. I'm assuming it must be the sound of the chair. But it wasn't, it was so weird because it wasn't like, did I just see something? What was that I just saw? I stopped dead in my tracks because I seriously thought somebody was in that room and I didn't know who it was. And you can even see the video because I'm sitting there and like walking, I was like, and I'm like, oh my God, because I'm sitting there like, please don't, I'm like, I was just afraid that somebody would have a weapon because we've got scalpels around. And so I'm like, man, they could really kill me. And there's not a soul in the room. And the room's tiny, so it's not like it could hide anywhere. It's a room. It's a med spa, so it's like big enough for somebody to sit and somebody to stand next to them and give them Botox. That's it.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, another deviation from our regular stories. Where are we now?
I want to share one now too.
Okay, go. What do you got? What do you got?
This one pisses me off. When we were living in Kentucky, not very far from where we live, maybe like half hour, 45 minutes away, there was this old cemetery. It's called Souls Chapel. All kinds of stories about this place. First off, it's on a dirt road, a single lane dirt road that still has grass growing in the middle. It's got the 2 tire tracks, but grass growing up in the middle because it's so old and overgrown and shit. There's stories about a witch's grave there. There's stories about a church that burned down. There was a church, but it had burned down, and supposedly that was Satan worshipers. There's talk about the woods that are right up against the graveyard, how women would go out there to visit a grave, and some serial rapists pulled them into the woods and would rape them, and there were several victims. I mean, all kinds of stories, just urban legend stuff. How much of it was true, how much was bullshit, I don't know. But we went out there one night. We went out there several times, but one night it was me, Stacy, and 4 friends. So it was a total of 6 of us. And we're walking around there, you know, everyone's separating, going their own ways. I'm taking pictures and taking video. We go into the woods. Then we start going back towards the drive up to the cemetery. And one of the guys stops and goes, "Holy shit, look over there." And everyone looks off in the distance over there. And they're like, "What the fuck is that? What? That's someone in a hood. There's someone in a hooded robe over there." And it looks like they got a little child next to him. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And I'm like, "Where?" I couldn't see shit. But they keep going, "Oh shit, they're starting to walk towards us. Oh shit, oh look at that one. It's like he's holding his hand." And they're describing all this fucking shit. I'm like, "Where? I don't see fucking shit. I'm looking where you're pointing. I don't see anything." And the one guy that was with it, the dude was a wrestler. Okay, a wrestler, independent wrestler, okay? So he's not on like TV and shit. And getting paid like probably $10 a night to wrestle. So, but this guy's a wrestler. And he comes over, he's like, "Guys, come on. I mean, he physically grabbed my arm and pulled me. Because he was scared shitless. And it was genuine fear. It wasn't no play acting shit. And I'm like, "No, wait a minute. I want to see. God damn it." I never seen fucking shit. All of them, Stacy included, swears they seen a tall figure and a short figure over by this gravestone. Same night that Stacy scares real easily, and she doesn't like being alone in the dark. This is the same night that for some reason she left my side and walked all the way to the back of the cemetery by herself. My wife don't do that kind of shit. If you paid her $100 and said, "Go walk over there by yourself," she'd be like, "Fuck you." That same night, she walked all the way to the edge of the fucking cemetery by herself. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then they see these spectral figures that I can't fucking see. That was a good, probably at least 10 years ago. What's that?
You sure they weren't screwing with you?
No. First up, the wrestler had true fucking fear. Stacy would not be able to keep that kind of secret for this long. No way.
Yeah, because usually at some point you want to say, "Oh my God, we got you."
Yeah. Nobody has ever. Now, I don't talk to any of the friends anymore, but for the longest time, nobody would ever say, "Yeah, we're fucking with you." Nobody. And I questioned them multiple times. We went back there because I wanted to see this shit. I never seen nothing.
Were you with me in the car when I swore to God I had seen a UFO?
Yes.
Okay, I finally figured out what it was.
What was it?
I found out like 10, 15 years later.
What?
The 2 of us were in a car. We're coming home from a movie, and we're passing by where I work, the radio station. And in the corner, looking at the windshield, there was like this white light with a red light around it, or red with a white light around it, or something. And I saw it in the corner of my eye. Kind of goes. I asked if he had seen it, and he said, "No, I don't see it." And I'm like, can't find it anywhere else. And I'm like, that was the strangest thing, because it was going very slowly, and then it shot up like a bolt out of no idea what the hell it was. And for the longest time, I wondered what it was. And like, well, I doubt it was a UFO, but it's unidentified and it was flying, so technically that's a UFO. Years later, going down the exact same street, and it happened again. Except this time I know what it was.
What was it?
As I was driving, there was an illuminated street sign, not a street sign, but like a business sign that was red and white. and you can only see a speck of it as a reflection on my windshield. And when it goes up the windshield, once it gets to the part that curves, it goes. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what it was. I was so happy. I finally had a reasonable explanation for it. It was driving me crazy because I'm like, what in the hell is this? And it wouldn't. So there you go. I finally figured it out.
That's an anticlimactic story.
I know, but at least I knew it wasn't. Well, okay. You were one of them that played the Ouija board with me, weren't you, when the whole Edgar Case or Casey thing happened? Do you remember that?
I remember Edgar Casey and you. I don't remember if I played the Ouija board with you.
All right. So I'm playing the Ouija. My family always plays Ouija boards. They talk to Elvis, they talk to everybody, whatever. They have fun with it. I'm playing once with, I don't remember who. And we're playing. And
Was it
says,
Amy?
Maybe. No.
Seems like it was.
Maybe it was Amy, because I know one time it was Kevin Swikowski. I thought one time with you, but each time I played it, it was with somebody different. And there wasn't a lot of contact between the people. So the thought of people trying to set me up seemed unlikely. But I was playing it, and it said kill, kill, kill. I'm like, what the hell is this all about? I'm like, kill who? Spells Kyle. And I'm like, what? So we're like, okay, we're done. We're not playing.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, so later I play with somebody else. Starts going, K, K, K. And I'm like, oh, don't tell me you're going to kill me again. And this goes, yes. And I'm like, okay, when are you going to kill me? 2017. And this was in 90s? Either late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Probably 90 even. Could have been right on 90. So anyway, I'm like, okay, whatever. Don't play it for a while. Somebody else plays it. And I'm like, okay. And I don't tell them anything about what's going on. I'm like, let's just play and see what happens. Kill. I'm like, okay. Okay. So I'm like, okay. I'm not looking. Who are you gonna kill? Spells Kai. I'm like, oh, okay. When are you gonna kill me? 2017. I'm like, okay, like, who is this? This spells Edgar Casey or Case. And not a way I would spell it.
Right.
I would spell Casey Casey. This isn't how it was spelled. So I look it up, and there is a guy named Edgar Case or Casey, spelled the way that it was in the game, who has died, who wrote books, and one of those books was on reincarnation. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Because that's what was actually one of the questions I had asked earlier. Because I'm like, if you're dead, how are you going to kill me? You're going to be reincarnated? And it goes to yes, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So, as I was working my way up to 2017, I started getting a little nervous. I'm like, okay, if I meet an Edgar, I'm going to be nervous. Never did, and now it's 2026, so I survived it. But it was a little weird. And he was supposed to be a humanitarian, so I don't know why he'd kill me, but anyway.
I remember all that shit.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And I never even knew who Edgar Casey was until this was happening to you. Neither one of us did.
I never heard of the guy. And the fact it was spelled exactly the same, because I'm sitting there and they're spelling out, and I'm like, what the hell are you spelling? And then I looked and like it was spelled that it's like Cayz or Ka. It was some weird freaking spelling. And I'm like, okay. Anyway.
One more side trip.
All right, let's keep.
And this will be a
coming.
quick one. This is just a quick question thing. I have a very distinct memory, and it just came back to me recently, like
Mhm.
between the episodes, like within 2 weeks. I
Okay.
remember there was a time that I was crashing at your place because the next day we were going to go to Cedar Point, I think, and
Okay.
we were in the living room, and we see like a shadow go. I remember a shadow going across the windows, and then someone knocking on the door at like 4 o'clock in the morning or some shit. Am I crazy? Did that happen?
No. But two other things did happen that could be one of those. One, there was a young child who I think down the street there was this home for people that had mental issues,
Right.
and this kid came in the house and was just standing in our living room. And my mom said, "Get out, get out, get out." It wasn't like a kid, kind of like it was more like a teenager. So, if it was a small child, we would have said, "What's wrong?" But my mom was nervous because I was, you know, it was my mom was on the top of the stairs, the kid was there, and I was over here, so she was afraid that the kid might do something to me. So I don't think it was that because I don't. You might have been there because I think I was playing video games in the other room. Um, but anyway, somebody at the same time that the kid went out, somebody came and said that that's what it was, the situation. We're like, okay, no problem. Well, if something happens, we know who to call and what to do and whatever. Um, then, but there was this other time where this woman, and this was in the middle of the night, um, was walking down the street screaming, and she was holding her shoes, and we're like, we didn't know if she was attacked or what was going on. And I don't think my parents were around. And we didn't know. I know it was me and somebody else was there, and we didn't know what to do. And we're like, we're like, okay, well, if anyone's following her, then we definitely got to call the police. But nobody was following her, and we're like, was she attacked? Is she just drunk? Is she also from the same place and is having a mental thing to recall that? But it seems like I was old enough to be alone, but too young to know what the hell to do in that situation. And that's all I remember about that.
Huh.
So did either of those ring a bell? Because I don't remember anything about shadows at our house.
Well, like someone walked across it. Maybe that's not even part, but I distinctly I do remember you telling me something about some woman with shoes and hollering. I don't know what if that would be the incident. I don't remember.
You
I
remember the
remember it
plane
seemed
that
like
was
someone
hovering?
was out front of your house, and either I could have swore they like knocked on the door, and you and I had turned off. We had the lights off, and we like were real down low to the ground because we didn't want them looking in through the windows and seeing that we were in there.
I don't
And we
remember
just kind
that
of
at
waited for
all.
it to pass.
I don't remember that at all. I remember once you and I were driving somewhere and there was a plane in the air that was really low, and we were driving and the plane didn't move. And we were sitting there like, we kept driving. We're like, oh, that's weird. Do you remember that? It was just like hovering. Do you remember that at
Wow.
all? You don't remember that?
I don't remember that one.
I remember that real well. It was just like it was there, hovering in the air. And it wasn't very high. That was the thing. Because if it was high, you're like, well, it's just, it's up there moving. It just doesn't look like it's moving. But this one was
Right.
lower. And you're like, why isn't that moving? And then we just said, okay. And we just kept driving. And like,
Were we
okay,
coming
whatever.
back from like Cedar Point?
I don't know. Probably, maybe it's just a long day and we were tired.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. So, what movie do you have now, Kyle? That was holy shit. Was that like 45 minutes worth of off
Oh my
track?
Lord. Oh my Lord. Okay, have mercy on us, please. And the next movie is called Mercy.
Wow.
Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Rebecca
That's
Ferguson, Chris Platt. That's ooh, she's looking right over me. I don't know if I like that or not. Maybe I need to go up higher so you can't see her. Oh, that's not the best graphic. Anyway, uh, this film has some Minority Report vibes in that in the future they are AI is um, judge, lawyer, executioner, the whole thing. You are you are guilty unless you can prove yourself innocent in 90 minutes. So the AI says this crime was committed. Here's the chances that it's you. And if it's too high, you've got 90 minutes to prove. Otherwise, you've got to get it down to a number where there is a reasonable doubt that you didn't do it. So Chris Pratt, who is a officer who is responsible for people going in this program, wakes up and finds himself strapped to the chair and has 90 minutes to prove his innocence. And as he goes along, you kind of find out that he's kind of a dick. And so much so, at one point, I'm like, you know what? I don't really care if he did it or not. I don't like this guy. So it was, well, I don't think it was serving its best interest. Once we got to a certain point, it did get better because it kind of, he's basically in a chair for 90 minutes. Now they're going through memories and cameras and stuff, so you can kind of you still get some action. So it's not just him sitting in a chair for 90 minutes, but it also feels a lot like, the minority part, a report part with the ball, and they can scroll and see certain things before, the real action actually takes place. So I was somewhat disappointed with the film. My wife actually really liked it. So again, that's one that she enjoyed. Um, I liked it more by the time it was over. I just, yeah, primarily at the beginning, I'm like, I don't care if he's guilty or innocent. He's he's got something coming to him, one way or
wow.
the other. So if you're going to
That's
see one or
horrible.
the other, I would say send help. But Mercy is also a fairly entertaining film when there's not a lot to choose from right now in cinemas to begin with. Back to you, John.
That's horrible that you have a main character that you hate. You don't care if he
Yeah,
dies.
yeah, that's the thing. I was like, okay, it's one of those things where because they're trying to make it feel like, okay, this could go either way. It really
Right.
could go either way. Are we going to have a twist and find out he's this, or is it going to have a twist and find out this? It's just that I'm like, well, if we get to a point where I'm supposed to care about this guy and really want him to get off, you better kick it into high gear. So right now, I don't care. I do not like this guy. So whether or not that actually, happens or not, um, it's just they focus on that so much that I'm like, okay, we really got to get back to solving the crime as opposed to just proving how much of a dick this guy is. So
There've been
anyway,
several movies that have done that where they've got your main protagonist, your main person in the movie is just so fucking unlikable that you're like, I don't care. I want the bad guy to kill you.
yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm like, I just don't understand why, the same thing with, the earlier one with, Momoa and Batista. I like them both. They hate each other, and I'm like, okay, let's get on with it because you're slowing it down the movie at a point where I really want to get sped up. And yeah, it's the same thing with this. It just kind of drags. the movie, and it's already a movie that's kind of drag worthy, given that it's mostly in a chair.
Wow.
But yeah, of the two, Send Help would definitely be my top choice between the two. But it is a watchable movie, and again, my wife really seemed to enjoy it.
Well, we were supposed to go and see it, but we also are supposed to go and see Whistle. Stacy really wants to see
Oh,
Whistle.
okay.
Horror flick about an Aztec death whistle for viewers at home that hadn't heard about this movie.
I saw it listed, didn't know a thing about it. It's amazing how many movies are playing in theaters right now.
Yeah, I
There's a
know.
ton of movies. I'm like, what the hell is this? Just I used to see trailers. I don't see trailers for any of these. Even when I go to the theaters, it's the same trailers all the time. They
Yeah.
don't break it up. So I'm like, I have no idea what half of these movies are. So
Uh,
I guess that's what YouTube is
that's right.
for us if we tell you.
So my next movie, this is going to tie into your Edgar Casey story
Oh
somewhat.
boy. Okay.
Somewhat. This is going. The next movie we're going to talk about is the remake of Witchboard from the 80s.
Oh, okay.
This is on Prime. It is a paid movie. You do have to pay for this
Oh.
to rent it. It's like $6. And it is a reimagining of the original, which I call bullshit on. It is not a reimagining. It is in name of the movie only. Because we've talked before about I've gotten over my trauma of them remaking a movie and just changing everything. I'm fine if they want to remake a movie and make it their own and take it in their direction. Witchboard is not a bad movie, but it has nothing to do with the original from the 80s. The characters aren't named the same. The board is not the same. In this one, it was a typical, or in the original, it's a Ouija board. Typical one, the Parker Brothers one, the one Kyle played with the Edgar Casey, Kill Kyle. This
Yep.
is a circular board with images on the outside and a pendulum. The pendulum, you hold it steady and ask the question, it'll swing to the you can't see me swinging. Swing to whatever the answer is. So it's not even the same fucking board. This one has heavy influence. Which COVID. Fuck, I'm so wound up over this movie. There's a witch coven from the 1700s that is a big part of this movie. Didn't have anything like that in the original. So to call yourself a reimagining, no, you are not a reimagining. Now that we've got that out of the way, is Witchboard, this new one, any good? It is done by Chuck Russell, who did Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, as well as the Blob remake with Kevin Dillon. It's not a bad flick. I enjoyed it. A lot of CG again in this one that was apparent. Let's get it clear. I don't have a problem with CG. I prefer practical effects. But if the CG looks good, I'm fine. I'm
I
fine.
agree.
It's when it looks bad or is obviously CG. That's when I don't like it. This movie is heavy into it. And predictable. It's fairly predictable. You know where it's going. At least I did. I wasn't surprised with anything that it did, other than not be at all like the original. But it's worth a watch. $6. It's worth watching. It is
I remember
interesting to
liking the
note
original.
that the one of the characters in here is actually Jamie Campbell Bowers, who played Vecna in Stranger Things. So that was kind
Oh,
of cool.
okay. Oh,
The other
that's
people, I
cool.
don't know who the hell they were.
Here's what's weird. and tell me if this is the wrong movie, but I'm pretty sure it's the right movie. I remember liking it, but the only single thing I can remember is there's a line where he goes, "But I boxed it myself." And I remember
Did
thinking, when you just say I put it in the box myself, who said they boxed it? And I remember just thinking that was so weird. And I remember that line today, but I couldn't tell you another freaking scene that happens in that movie.
wow.
I do remember enjoying it.
The
And I think I've seen it more than once, but I can't remember it.
original one was great with
Yeah,
Tawny
I remember
Katane
liking it.
and
Yeah, I
I
need to
don't
go
remember
back
who
and
her boyfriend
rewatch it.
was. It's great. I even watched my wife likes part two the best. I think that's got Amy Dolan's in it. I think that's what her name is. And I just watched the third one a couple nights ago on YouTube. You can actually
How
watch the
many are?
original and part two and part three on YouTube,
Oh, well, they're good. Good. That's
just
what I
not the
like. Free.
reimagining.
All
What
right.
else you got for us, Kyle?
All right. Well, I'm done with movies. This one is just and it's a show I've talked about before, but I'm really imploring people to watch this. It's Shrinking.
Oh,
Uh, Harrison Ford. This is the. He's even been saying he's like if his career ended with this show, he'd be happy because he thinks he's done something very important.
wow.
Um, as I said, he plays a shrink who has Parkinson's. And in the first couple seasons, it's there, but it's not a big part of the show. Every single person on this cast is phenomenal. It's a very funny show. It seems dramatic because it's talking about Parkinson's, but again, that's a very small element of the entire show. Siegel's got his wife was killed in a car accident. His daughter is all upset about it. There's some quirky neighbors. There's somebody that's staying with him. There's there's this whole group of people that make up this very funny show. I mentioned it before, and I wasn't going to mention it again because I don't want to talk about the same stuff over and over again. But if you're on the fence about seeing the show, which is on Apple Plus, by the way, watch the first 2 minutes of the season three, episode one. And if you're not hooked within the first 2 minutes
Two
of that
minutes.
episode, you're not. Never mind. It is. Um, uh, Harrison Ford goes to his doctor to talk about Parkinson's. One of the people there who's also in Michael J. Fox, and he's Michael J.
That's
Fox
awesome.
asks him. He says, "What are you here for?" He goes, "Parkinson's." He goes, "What about you?" And Michael J. Fox goes, "Oh, just a haircut." And so he's got a sense of humor. And then Michael J. Fox is talking to him about how strong his voice is still to Harrison Ford, like, okay, well, you're still doing pretty good. And Michael J. Fox is not doing very well. And
Yeah.
you can see it in the film. And it's very touching and it's emotional and it is hysterical all at the same time.
Wow.
And this quick exchange between the two of them, and I think Michael J. Fox is going to be in more of the series. If I'm telling you, if you are not hooked in that 2 minutes, fine. This show is not for you. But if you are hooked in that 2 minutes, go back to the first episode and then watch the whole series. And it gets better and better as it goes. Because at first I'm like, okay, they got too much going on. I'm kind of into these characters. I'm kind of not. By the time you get to this point, you love every single character in this show and it is just done so well. So please, Apple Plus, and if you don't have Apple Plus, wait a few weeks until all the episodes have dropped. Get the free 7 days or month and binge watch this sucker because you will enjoy it and you'll probably want to make sure you're back because it did get renewed for another year.
Uh-oh.
So
Yeah, I have not done that show yet. I know you really pimped it up when you first brought it up. The thing that holds me back is Apple Plus. I don't want to pay for another streaming service, but
I know,
I might have to.
they've got Pluribus that was really really good. Um, Severance, which turns out to be really good. It's kind of like Lost like, but yet in no way like Lost, but there's Lost elements in it. And those two series alone are so bizarre and so weird that
Mhm.
it's one of those where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to stick around. And then you can't not stick around because by you get to the end and you're like, damn it, I want to know what happens next. And you're like, okay, where are they going with this? And it's Apple Plus, and then they also have returning is For All Mankind, which if you're not aware, that is a retelling of history. If the Russians won the space race,
Oh, wow.
and that's primarily what the first season or two is about. And then as it moves into the future, the next coming season is us colonizing Mars. So now we're way into the future,
Holy
but
shit.
we started way in the past. And there's going
Okay.
to be a spin-off called Star City, which is Russia's version of NASA. So it's that show. I liked it better when we started the initial premise. It is kind of losing its way the further we get away from that. Um, but it's a really good initial watch for the first couple seasons. So if you're into sci-fi at all, there's really good sci-fi shows on Apple Plus, and then you throw in Shrinking. And I'm like, okay, that was the one I never had. I'm not paying for Apple. I was the same way. I'm like, I've got enough, no more.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I got a free damn week or something, and the next thing I know, I can't get rid of it because there's always some new thing. I'm like, oh, next week is this. Crap, I can't wait. Oh, now we got to watch this. So yeah, Apple's the one that's really pulled us in. We've been surprised about how much I watch more Apple than I watch Netflix right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Is the institution on there or is that on MGM?
that might be in MGM because I do not remember seeing that listed.
Like, they
There's
got too many streaming shits.
yeah, we've gotten to a point where it's, I hope that the Netflix Warner Brothers thing goes through just so we could get Netflix and Warner Brothers together and there'll be one less damn streaming service. I know people are not for this, but I'm like, well, they also realize, how much money there can be made by theatrical releases, so why would you stop that? So
Right.
I'd rather them than Paramount at this point. Um, but yeah, there's too many services. Now that Disney is, and Hulu's in Disney, we're starting to see that. So
Mhm.
hopefully they start to limit themselves. Because yeah, my wife, she grabs the remote. She's like, "Which one is that on?" Like,
Same here.
yeah, Amazon, Apple, Netflix.
I
Yeah,
fucking have to go to my phone and type in, on my phone, what channel is whatever on? What channel Star Trek on? Oh, Paramount.
yeah,
Oh, that's part of Prime.
yep,
Fuck, I hate this
yeah.
shit.
It was really bad. Is like Yellowstone season one or something is on Peacock, and then all the other ones were on Prime. But now they're leaving Prime or on Paramount. Now they're leaving and going to go to maybe they're all going to go to Peacock. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it was my wife's like, well, if you want to watch Yellowstone, we have to start on this channel, then switch over to this channel. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, and
It's a
then
fucking scavenger hunt.
shit moves around. Yeah, and I remember when Netflix was dropping the Marvel shows, so I'm sitting there zipping through the Marvel shows, and then Netflix gets, or now Disney has them, so I started watching them over there, and I'm like, okay, I have another shot at it because now we got another Daredevil coming with Jessica Jones, and I never finished Jessica Jones, so now I got to finish Jessica Jones. It's like crap. So, and Punisher, there's a Punisher movie coming, Disney Plus movie, so I got to watch Punisher, finish that. So
Too much fucking
I
shit.
started
There's
both of
not
them,
enough
didn't
hours in the
finish.
day to go to
Yeah,
work and watch TV. So
I know
I
it's
think it's
got
time
to
to
go.
retire.
Enough. Yeah, God, I want to retire so bad. I want to retire so bad.
Me
if that
too.
ghost could do something to my business, so I could sue and say, "Hey, I can't work somewhere that's possessed." But yeah, no such luck.
Well, I wanted
So
to,
are we
before we
wrapped up
wrap
with
the
this?
show up, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say, do we have anything else before we wrap? So no, you got something.
Yeah, I
Throw it
was
at
just
me.
going to throw out a couple little update things. This past Wednesday, this past Wednesday, The Muppet Show came back on Disney.
Yes, yes, I
Did you
want to see
watch
it.
it?
I've not seen it yet. I've heard good things. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, I watched it. Here's the thing. It felt just like when I was watching it as a kid, only I'm an adult now. So I didn't enjoy it as much. But if I was a kid, I mean, this would have fed right into the original Muppet Show perfectly.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
just like it.
Yeah,
It's just,
I
I mean,
hope they I hope they don't screw it because I liked when I loved the Muppet Show as a kid. And I loved
yeah,
the Muppet movie, and then it seemed like the Muppet movies declined over time. And then they
uh,
rebooted it with the new Muppets. I'm like, ooh, I like this new Muppets. It's really, really good. They put a lot of thought into it. And then they made Muppets Most Wanted. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're doing the decline down again. But I've watched every because they had Muppets Tonight. They had the Mayhem, the Electric Mayhem series. I thought that was cute. I really liked
yeah.
that. Um, there was some other Muppet thing that I watched, and I guess that got mixed reviews. So I keep like, please don't screw this up. So when I heard they were bringing back the Muppet Show, I'm like, okay, come on, man,
Yeah,
please do this good. So yeah, I'm
I
very
think they
happy to
did.
hear that's doing that well.
I think it was really good. Like I said, I don't have that childlike. I'm not the right age for it anymore. I think I've matured past the Muppet Show to some extent. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't the same level of enjoyment as it was in the 70s.
That I can see, but I also remember like I watched the Muppet Show, not the show, the movie again. It's been a while still, but I remember thinking, wow, there's a lot of jokes here I didn't get when I was a kid. I was like, okay, now because there's adult jokes in there.
Yeah.
They're just over the head of kids. So I'm hoping if they do it, they keep that element. So I'm like, okay, there's something for the adults, but also something for the kids as well. Because yeah, neither you nor I have kids, so we don't have an excuse to sit there and watch children's programming. But I love the Muppets, and I don't know if you ever been to Universal Studios. They just got rid of it, but the Muppets 3D or 4D, and
Yeah, I remember that.
it is the best 3D ever. I mean, it was every time we went, we're like, we can do any other rides. We'll do some sort of, we'll try to get as many as we can in. But the Muppets is a 100% we're going. And we went to every single time because it was like right here. The graphics were good. And then they had the whole building. They had stuff happening too. And there's stuff going on in the walls and behind you in the projection booth. So when they closed that, I was just devastated because I'm like, oh my God, that's the one ride. I was hoping I was going to call Six Flags and say, buy it and put it in. But I could go to it every week if I wanted to. But no such luck.
Sorry.
But
Sorry.
I love the Muppets. So I think that wraps up this extremely long episode of In the Spotlight and Attack of the Spotlight. Coming up in the weeks ahead, we've got another episode on rom-coms that men will like, or not even necessarily just rom-coms, maybe chick flicks for that would be good to watch on Valentine's Day that both the male and female will enjoy. And then
Yeah.
we also have an episode on our favorite blockbuster bombs. So join us for those episodes and much more coming up in the weeks ahead on the In the Spotlight web series and the Attack of the Spotlight podcast. I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I'm John Horton. Thanks for joining us tonight, kids. Hey, should we do like maybe you think maybe we could do a Muppet episode? I mean, fucking Star Trek did, right?
Well, we're good.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pump it, even if we get a little sock
A
pump
paper
it.
brown paper sack.
Yep.